So this video is about confidence again, but mostly this time about gratitude and trusting the process. Trusting the process, what I mean, the process of your life and your transformation to where you want to be. And the thing is, when you start out building your artistic mind, you may think, am I gonna ever reach there? Am I gonna ever be at that point in my life where I'm satisfied with my process, where I'm reaching the point of being where I want to be? Or is it gonna be forever, that I'm never gonna reach that point? And spoiler alert, you will never really reach that point. Because again, or did I say it the first time? Trust the process and be thankful where you are right now. Because being thankful where you are right now and showing that gratitude will attract more things in your life and make it a lot more easy to go where you want to go or where you are meant to go. And this is what I mean when you go on this endeavor of creating your art mind and creating the life you want and having the situations you are looking for. At a certain point, you feel, oh yeah, did I actually work for that? Or was it just that I was focusing on the process and suddenly you wake up in a place and you think, oh wow, how did I actually got there? And that's the subconscious at work, and that's your artistic mind at work. That's your strong understanding that you are capable to do that. And this comes through the practice, through this course, through putting into action what you're learning here. But it's also at the same time understanding that you are also limited in the chances or in actually having control over everything, right? Yeah, and trusting the process and understanding wherever that leads you will be good for you, because you are there in this world to express yourself through the artistic spirit, through the artistic energy. So everything what you do becomes a artwork. That sounds a little bit pretentious, but if you look at your life like this, you accept also the mistakes in your painting, like we did in the classes. Oh, sometimes we have to be like, maybe that was a mistake. Maybe that's just a little hint from the outside world that you have to maybe adjust a little bit the path. Maybe choose another color, maybe not use that much of this color, maybe use a different form, maybe also going over the borders. Maybe you spilled some color on the table. That means like, oh yeah, maybe you overstepped your boundaries and expressed your mind within the maybe not so artistic circle or situation you've been in, but you've been open, you've been transparent, you've been tolerant, but still you got in a kind of situation where you're like, okay, the table was not my canvas, right? So also understand that sometimes making that so-called mistakes and maybe talking your mind a little bit is nothing which is you have to be ashamed of or which you have to be embarrassed of. That's also part of the growth. So that's not a problem. So you take away your canvas, you move it on the side, you clean the table, and you move on with your life. And again, with gratitude, also be very grateful for these kind of experiences where you're like, ah, yeah, maybe that was not the right way to say it. Maybe that was not the right way to paint it. Maybe this decision was not the right decision, even though you thought you do the right decision. This is what I mean. Be grateful also for your mistakes or stepping over the boundaries. But the other thing about gratitude is we are so overwhelmed with so many choices. We go so many times, we go on social media or watch television, or we are just stuck in our thoughts about the past and about the future, and we're missing the moment. So we have to be always grateful for every moment. We always have to be grateful for everything, every sensation we have. Even though a mosquito bites us, we have to be grateful for this as well. Because like this, we always bring out a very, very beautiful vibration to this world, and this will come back to us in maybe also different ways. And sometimes we don't understand, oh yeah, it's not actually this situation where I thought it's gonna be like this or like this, but maybe it has something which I'm gonna be grateful afterwards when you look back. So even though when you don't feel right in a moment, like a mosquito bite my knee again, but still be thankful for it, because it's a sensation. It's a sensation in your body. It's itches, but this is also bringing you out of your thoughts. You know, maybe a loud music or a bang or something which is waking you up, bringing you back to this moment, bringing you back to the situation where you are. So this is always teaching us, let's stay in the moment, let's be where we are, let's stop thinking, let's experience more, let's feel more, let's be in our body. And being in your body means always you are entering the artistic mind, because the artistic endeavor and the artistic work is always with the body. It's never, or not never, but most of the time it's not with the mind. What you feel in your normal conscious is then the result of the action of the artistic mind, which lays below the conscious mind, because the conscious mind again is a very small part. But when we show a lot of gratitude, we are linking these both worlds, I would call them. Maybe they also have a lot of overlap, right? But we are connecting each other again. We are giving gratitude also to our subconscious, the artistic mind. And we bring that up again. We get the emotions back to our brain, right? To our thoughts. We are maybe also overwhelmed sometimes when we do that too often. In some situations, maybe it's a little bit too much. But you can always be at ease at all time, because when you fall out of the artistic mind, your conscious mind is waiting like a mattress. Not a very comfortable one, because we know sometimes it's hard to think too much. But we are landing there on the normal way of living, like most of us are doing most of the time. So climb up that ladder, right? Ladder, not the ladder. You don't learn English here. And enter this space of gratitude, because it's not just the subconscious, but it's also the higher conscious, would call it. Yeah, so the sub and the higher is both the artistic mind, and in between is over thoughts, over overthinking. So we are just like getting messages of these two energy fields communicating with each other. So our conscious is mostly, like a marketing action of both consciousness to make us having the feeling that we are having control again. So the more you show gratitude to these energies which are working in favor of you all the time, the more you get out of it again. So, and the more you stay again in the moment, and you're like, oh wow, what just happened? What kind of part of my conscious made that in the background, you know? Still, you have this kind of being part of it, but at the same time, you are experiencing it and being grateful and showing gratitude towards everything which is happening in the background, even this loud truck ruining my audio. No, that's again like, oh, wake up, you're doing this right now. Or there's people doing their things around. There's a world outside of this recording. I have to remember myself, because otherwise I'm too focused on this. Oh yes, I'm thinking about like, okay, they're gonna see it, so I have to give them some value. I have to talk like this to make them. No, it's just, I'm just a, how can I say, a spokesperson. My conscious mind is a spokesperson, and my artistic mind is working in the background, giving me the words, giving me the sentences I need to say, so I can talk my mind 100%, and I can 100% share with you all the knowledge and wisdom which I gathered through watching the artistic mind in action and trying to document that the best way possible, through meditation, through staying in the moment, through healthy food, through having great conversation with people, through being at wonderful places, through being in myself and not in the outer world, because the outer world is also myself. You are also the outer world. Everything is extremely highly connected. You cannot underestimate that. Never. So the more you give into the moment, the more you show gratitude, the more you say yes to who you are, where you are, with what people you're surrounded, what job you have, what location you are, everything. The more you give into that, the more it will bounce back to you, and in a very, very positive way. And also when there is not the absolute positivity, you can still handle that in 100% way. You can still be, oh yeah, what is this teaching me? What is this teaching me? And most of the time it's a reminder, be grateful, be conscious, be in the moment, and not let your overthinking and your thoughts, which are most of the times they're not even your thoughts, right? Because we've been trained to judge things, we've been trained to judge people. Oh, this one is more successful, this one is less successful, this is more powerful, this is more good looking, this has more money, this has less money, this has more health, this has less health, this is below or above me, and always this comparison, like also, oh, this location is nice because I've learned this should look like this, but who is that talking through us? Is that us? Or is that something where we've been trained on and been like, yeah, this is good, this is bad? Who knows, you know? Who knows? Who is there to really judge things, right? So the more you get out of this judgmental viewpoint of your thoughts, the more you attract things which are actually good for you. Because what you think about is gonna happen sooner or later. So that means like you're judging the outer world will judge you. So don't judge yourself inside, and don't judge the things outside, and don't let the outside judge you. That's again with the gratitude. Also, being judged, you also can show some gratitude, like what is in for you about that. Maybe somebody has a right point, but we are digressing here on that topic. Watch the other video, How to Deal with Haters, where I explain that more in depth. But getting back to the gratitude, I mean, look at your life. Look inside yourself. Look in all the power and everything what you did to be able to be in that moment right now. And show gratitude to all your life, to all the people. If they were positive or negative, show gratitude to them, because they made you be here at that moment watching that video. And that's a next step on your growth from the overthinker to the artist, to the mindful artist, maybe, or the mind-empty artist. Because the mindfulness, yesterday I read a magazine which was called, it was a mind style magazine. So I was like, oh my God, you can't call it like this, you know, because how? I was like, oh, and there I suddenly understood, like, oh wow, this is giving me some feedback. I also have to be grateful for this message because something was happening in myself. So can you style your mind? And then I was meditating on that, and I was thinking, maybe they got a point there. Maybe it's also about styling your mind, right? But that was, again, something where I learned something. I was like, oh yeah. My first reaction was very mindful, mind conscious, and with a lot of thoughts. And then I understood, like, but maybe that can tell me something. So maybe let's try that out. Maybe I'm gonna style my mind, so maybe I style my thoughts as well. Maybe I try to style my situation, the way I look at it. And that went quite well. Today I'm not gonna do it again, but you see, be grateful for every feedback what you get from outside of the world, because it can teach you something. You know, I've been working with the mind and the subconscious and the conscious so many years, so mind styling was something, how dare they call it style, because the style is, but then I thought, like, oh no, it's just me who's blocking this vibration. I could let it into my teaching, I could let it into a video like this, I could let it into the world. Who am I to say, like, no, you can't call it like this, you can't call, no. So I learned from that again, and I was, wow, thanks a lot also for this feedback, because it always brings me back to this certain moment. So the best you can do is accept, first of all, everything, because you are, even though you are super powerful, you're also very limited in what you can do. And especially if you are stuck in repeating thought process, if you're stuck in overthinking, this head cinema, as some call it, the more you are stuck there, the less you are experiencing the things, and the less you are able to be grateful for things. And the less you are grateful for things, the more you attract things you cannot be grateful for anymore. Even though I said, yeah, be grateful for everything, but you know exactly what I mean. So, be always there, be always thankful, be always nice with yourself, and nice with your thoughts, and nice with everybody else's meanings and opinions and their lifestyle, their mind style. And like this you can breathe again through the world, you find more space, you find more possibilities, you find endless, I call it happiness, okay, let's call it like this. You find absolute peace inside yourself. You find absolute pride inside yourself. You find pride in the whole world. You find you find this peace in the whole world. Everything becomes more like where you want to be. Like as an active artist creating an artwork which is called your life. And at the very last brush stroke in your life, there you can say, maybe you're gonna sign your painting at the very end. But until that, just let the color flow. Overpaint some, maybe parts which don't look that good. It's not a problem. Let it dry and overpaint it. But always, always, always stay focused on this beautiful arrangement of colors on this canvas of your life, right? And I wish you a lot of success with this, because I know you can do that. And the success will bring you places you cannot even imagine yet. You're not even capable to understand what lies inside yourself, or this endless amount of power, this endless amount of artistic mind style, which will bring you places, which will give you situations you could have never thought of, you could have never wished of. Yeah, and I wish you all the best and good luck with that. And you're gonna enjoy a lot of it, because it's just beautiful to be there and to be alive, because you are alive. You not just have a life, you are alive. And in that way, be life. That's what I can say at the very end. Be alive and be thankful for it, because it's a very, very special energy. Thank you.